Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh, yeah. Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today we grill walleye. It's so easy, just 3 ingredients. And I interview Keith Sturgeon. He's mastered the art of pinstriping in his artwork. But first, a great place to eat and drink. No motorcycle required. Well, I'm at Biker Brew House with the owner, Larry Wilson. And boy, does this guy have some stories. I mean, how you came to be a brewer and the owner of the brew house is just fascinating. And of course, this is the only one that's even affiliated with a Harley in the whole United States of America.
Yeah, we're actually attached to it now.
Right.
We're
You
not
started out in
affiliated
it.
with the brand, but
Right.
we are the only one attached to a Harley Davidson dealership.
And it started as when you were in sales over there.
Correct.
And then you said, hey, I got this great idea.
Yeah.
And then it just grew from there. And now you've got like a little empire going on here
Well,
with Biker Brew House.
It's small, but it's getting there.
It's
Yeah.
a little country, but it will grow.
Yeah.
But I cannot believe how far you've come in, 7 years?
Yeah. It definitely has its challenges, but it also has its rewards.
And I found it hard to believe that you were really only brewing like a year or so before you started this as a commercial venture.
Yes. The first couple batches were
Little rough.
all right. They were rough. It was getting to know the whole process because my background is not in this world.
Right.
My background was a home builder.
Construction.
So, yeah,
I mean,
construction.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I'm the type of person that I put my mind to anything, and I will not. Failure is no option. Put it that
Exactly.
way, right? So when I started brewing, it was like by the third batch, I was bringing it in for everybody to be guinea pigs to say, "Hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that?"
And what was your first successful one? Which one
First successful?
really put you on the map?
Push rod.
The push rod.
Yep.
And what sets this apart from other beers?
It's a good pale ale, and that's
Wow, it is. And then you do the Kolsch. That's got to be really
Yes.
popular because it's more of what we're used to.
yeah. And the Kolsch is not just your standard Kolsch. We use orange blossom honey in that, so it's a honey Kolsch. So it gives it that nice, subtle flavor on the backside of it.
But I noticed when we were in the back, the barrels in that, and you get that, from a maple producer,
Up in Montville in Ashtabula County.
Wow.
Yeah, seldom seen farms up there. He does an awesome job. Gets all his barrels from Kentucky and then ages his maple syrup in those barrels. And let me tell you, if you've not had a bourbon maple syrup, it is to die for.
I'm sure it is. So you really have a lot of balls. You got the blue balls,
Right.
you've got the melon balls,
Yeah.
you've got the cotton balls.
Right.
And there seems to be a little theme there. And I think that's pretty clever. You play off that stuff, huh?
Oh,
With
absolutely.
the blueberries, the melons, and
Yeah.
then, honestly, you can't believe this. It actually tastes like cotton candy, but not in a sickening way.
Right.
It's weird, but it's really good.
We all drink with our nose first.
Right.
So when that glass comes to your mouth, it smells like fresh spun cotton candy.
It does.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then even the blueberry, it
Yeah.
does hit you first. How popular are these in the summertime? These have
Summertime,
gotta be-
they're selling like crazy. At 4.7%.
Exactly. And that's another nice thing. You don't have any of these crazy high ABVs.
Correct.
So they're all really sessionable. Love that
Yes.
term. You design all these labels.
I do.
So in brewing, you're also a graphic artist.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
No.
So how do you do this? I mean, these are really beautiful labels.
Self-taught on Adobe Illustrator.
Did you design your logo too?
Yes.
You are really, you're a Renaissance man.
Well, thank you. The one we have that's going to be released next month is American Pie. American Pie is an apple pie ale, and we get all our cider from Haas Cider.
Wow, Hans, they do a nice job
He
out
does
there.
a great job.
Yeah.
Love that guy down there. He
Nice.
knows what he's doing.
How does your distribution work? Because you're in how many places now?
We're in 150 locations right now. We're self-distributing. So I'm the delivery driver as well. We have an awesome staff that's behind me. Otherwise, this wouldn't happen. But these girls are amazing. Aaron in the food truck is awesome. He prepares the food. I have an awesome buddy, Tim King. I know you know him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have to listen to him, and he is the reason for the success behind the food.
Really?
Yeah.
No, Tim King's awesome.
Yeah.
So this is where all the magic happens.
Absolutely.
I mean, this place, I cannot believe how many tanks you have.
Yeah.
And that is the coolest thing. Where'd you get that?
Okay, so when the Harley Davidson dealership rebranded back to Youngstown Harley, it used to be called Bike Town.
Oh, that's right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so they were taking the sign off the side of the building, and I said, "What are you doing with that?" They said, "Oh, we're throwing it away." I said, "No, you're
No,
not."
you're not.
I took the bike out of Bike Town, and I took the R out of Harley, and here we go, biker.
How much are you putting through here? Like on a daily basis? Like this is huge.
Well, that's a 10-barrel bright tank. Currently in that tank is 12 barrels of American Pie.
American, we're getting ready. And then all of these barrels. So we've got the Danny Green, which is
Yes.
so clever. And then we've got the Motorhead Maple. And how long do these have to sit in the barrels before you can?
We typically go 6 months. We age them in the barrel.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the most popular of these?
Of these,
Yeah.
both of them.
They really go.
Yeah, both of them.
And they're pretty limited then. And once they're gone, they're gone.
Correct. Yeah,
So-
we fill 3 barrels at a time. That's a 5-barrel batch, which is equivalent of this size tank.
Uh-huh.
So it takes this much volume to fill 3 of these 53-gallon barrels. And once those are gone, then that batch is gone, because as with barrel aging,
Right.
every beer has its own personality because each barrel is different.
So different.
Yeah. So that's kind of our mentality when I
Right.
designed the brewery, was that I wanted the ability to move all these different, because as you could see on our tap room, we have so many different flavors that we
I mean,
offer.
that's a lot.
Yeah. And being that we're small batch like this, we're constantly turning. So that means that it's always fresh. We have a bunch of appetizers on the menu as well. We have cheese curds.
Right.
We have fried mushrooms. We have fried pickles. Who
Of
doesn't
course.
love a fried pickle, right?
Exactly. And that's going to be my next suggestion. Got to do something with pickle beer.
Yeah.
You know? I
Yeah.
think everybody loves pickles. Now they're like it on pizzas. They're like,
Right.
maybe you could do, some kind of sour with the pickle.
Yeah.
Let me know.
That would be- I will.
Pickleballs.
Pickleballs.
Right?
We will give you credit for that. Pickleballs, right? Yeah.
Okay, that's my first free one.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so everybody says, since we have this whole ball line, right?
Exactly.
We have all the balls.
You've got them all.
Right?
Got big balls, little balls, you got all the balls.
Kamara Jewelers is the place to buy an engagement ring because we want a relationship with you that lasts a lifetime. Your commitment with her is the same commitment we have to you.
We want to sit down with you and teach you about diamonds, so you're educated on what you're buying. We have the largest selection we ever have, which is the largest in the area, and at the best value. And if it's not something in our case, we could always custom make it. We can make any dream come true.
Get real, get Kamara.
Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available. Given is living. Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available at $13 an hour. Given is living.
Rulli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old World Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Locally sourced is good, whether it's ingredients or a bank. And that's why my bank is Farmers National Bank. Since 1887, Farmers has remained rock solid through every economic condition. Having a bank with a history of safety, soundness, and conservative management is a must. It all boils down to this. You need a bank that will help you reach your goals. I do too. And Farmers is mine. Farmers National Bank, rock solid. Well, in addition to brewing beer here and selling beer here and food, Biker Brewhouse is also an art gallery. And this is where Keith Sturgeon displays all of your artwork. Well, not all of it. Your artwork, it's called striping or pinstriping.
It's
And what does that exactly mean?
well, the pinstriping part of it is just the small, thin, tiny line that you would normally find on a car or a motorcycle.
Right.
So what I did is I brought it onto a canvas, and there's other people that paint with lines and that out there, but I think from what I'm able to see that's out there, I refined it by actually getting it closer and then layering the one color on top of another color on the same line. If you see a finished piece, it almost looks like a thumbprint, so I call them face prints.
So this is a custom piece.
Yes, it
You were
is.
asked to do this, and this is a famous girl from Canfield.
Yes, Zion Hensley. She's boxer here in Mahoning County. All the ones that I do, all the paintings I do start with a black background. With that black background, when I do the lines, from a distance, they kind of blur together, so it looks like a traditional portrait. And then once you walk up on it and get close, you can actually see that it is lines. But I always use black as a background.
How long does it take to complete something like this?
They average between 15 and 25 hours.
You also do customization of cars and trucks and motorcycles.
Yeah, that's
And that's also called pinstriping.
that is
That
pinstripe.
is truly pinstriping.
Right. And I started that about 10 years ago. A friend of mine, he was working on a motorcycle of mine, and I went over to his shop. He gave me some paint and brushes. I started messing around, and he's like, yeah, you might be able to do this. So the next day I went there, he gave me brushes and paints of my own, and I've been messing around with it since.
Have you always been, artistic?
Yeah,
You've always drawn?
I've always
painted?
drawn and doodled.
Yeah.
The first one I did was really loose, and there's
It wasn't that tight, you mean?
it wasn't tight at all, and it was very flat. There was no depth to it whatsoever. But even when I did that, people were like, "Oh, this is really cool. I've never seen nothing like this before." So I just kept working on it. And some of the gentlemen that I am friends with in the industry, as far as pinstriping goes, they recommended not to stop and keep developing what I got.
This is very well done.
Thank you.
And this had to take you hundreds of hours. I mean, look at all the minute lines and detail.
It was about 30 hours on this one.
Where do you get your inspiration from? Like, why did you want to do them? Where do you get the pictures from that you use?
I don't know if I watched the movie, something just triggers me, or I'll see an image online or something like that. And I usually crop it up, change it up a little bit so it's not 100% of a copy. So a lot of times I'll post on Facebook, what should I do next?
Yeah, and a lot of suggestions.
Right.
So you were saying, like, you have the picture of Robbie Knievel and Evil,
Mm-hmm.
And then when you say you're going to send a print to his daughter, how is it just a print of this?
Yeah, it's a copy of this. It's been photographed.
Okay.
And then I'll take it to a print house and have it printed and then send it off.
So it's like on a high quality poster paper.
Right. There's a process out there where they're printing on metal, and the prints on metal look amazing. So I might.
And they're that involved. I mean, you could really see the detail.
You could feel the detail.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah, so I was really impressed. A friend of mine, he's down in East Liverpool. He's got a shop down there, and he did a couple of mine for me just to see how they turn out. I was really, really impressed.
Is cool.
A lot of times I'll do something, and as I'm painting it, it sells before it's even done.
Right.
Someone sees it while I'm doing it online, and it's like, oh, I want that.
Right.
And I'm like, well, let me finish.
But they can hire you.
Oh yeah, I do commissions. I've done family members. I've done pets. Actually, unfortunately, a lot of pets that have passed.
Right.
And when I do that, I end up putting a a little heart collar with their name on it and angel wings when I paint it for them. That's my special touch on their pet portrait.
How often do you come to the Biker Brew House and do, the live painting?
So I do it the last Friday of the month. I do Facebook Live.
Okay.
And it's fun. And then I interact with the people that talk to me as I'm painting.
Wow.
And I encourage people to come up to me while I'm painting and doing it, and ask questions. The next big thing I would love to have a one-man show somewhere, at the Butler or something.
Right, you are an American artist.
The gallery here at the Biker Brew House is
it's a
top
good
notch.
start.
Yeah,
Good start.
it is. It was just crazy the way it happened before this was even built in here. I came in here and photographed the motorcycle, and I says, I'll bring this back when it's done.
Right.
So you can see I'm not just some guy in here taking pictures of motors. I brought it back and I says, hey, go get Larry. So Larry comes up, he brought me in here before anything was built in here. Says, this wall's yours.
Skeeter
Yes.
is about to present a new work of art.
Yes.
First time seen by anyone?
Pretty much.
Is it an exclusive for the Casey Malone Show?
Very.
Okay. Gino? Tighten up. Okay, who could it be? Who could it be? Who could it be? You gotta be kidding me. Oh my God, it's Cartoon Casey. Isn't she adorable?
She's a doll.
She never ages. Oh my gosh, Keith, really? Cartoon Casey, that is unbelievable. All those lines. That is wild. Can I look at that?
You can take it home. That's
Is
yours.
this for me?
That is you.
That is awesome socks.
You can hang that on your refrigerator
Oh my
at home when you
gosh.
get home.
Look at all the lines on my face. I've earned every one. That is amazing. Oh, wow. Thank you.
You are quite welcome.
I love that. What do you think, Gino? This should definitely be hanging in the Butler.
I think so too. As soon as you walk in, velvet ropes behind
It is
velvet
adorable.
ropes.
Thank you. I love it.
You're
Thank you.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard. For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Rigetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
It's happening now. Construction is underway at Gabacam, a year-round destination for adults with disabilities and their families to get away, close to home, accessible to all, with no barriers. Donate now to Gabacam. Giving is living.
Well, I've got a special guest in the kitchen with me today.
Yeah, from the boat to the
From
kitchen.
the boat. We had a really good time. We went walleye fishing about a week or so ago. We caught our fill.
Lake to table. We caught more than that.
We did get more than that. But our friend Michelle gave us this recipe, and it really didn't have a name, so we made up a name. And it's called 3-ingredient walleye
Coating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 ingredients.
Since you have 100 pounds of walleye, you gotta,
You're
try
looking for different ways. I love the fish fry, big fan of the fish fry, but you don't always want to heat the oil and all that stuff. And this really is super easy. The ingredients are mayonnaise, half cup, a quarter of a cup of horseradish, and 1/8 of a cup of soy sauce. That's it. So,
Okay.
you know, and you really don't want to marinate this for very long. You just get it all mixed up in the bowl and, you know, let it sit there for a few minutes. But, you know, the big thing is the grill temperature. Let's talk about that.
Right. So the grill has to be super hot. So you want it 500 plus. And you're also making your pieces smaller. These are like 3 to 4 inch pieces. So they're gonna be on for roughly 1 to 2 minutes a side. I don't really mind if it's undercooked, so it's less for me, but you do wanna burn this on the outside, almost.
You'll get like it'll brown.
Or at least brown.
And you know, walleye is a pretty sturdy fish.
Sure.
So you don't have to worry about really overcooking it. You know, if it's a thicker piece, you know, let it sit there a little bit longer. But then you got a little skinny piece.
But then you do have some thin ones.
So just pay attention to it. And of course, we use a grate. We use a special basket instead of straight on the grill.
Right, because it will cook through, so it will flake up eventually, especially on the turn.
So you want to make sure you use a grate or you know, grill basket, and make sure it's sprayed real well.
So that's fully coated.
So look at that, it's fully coated.
Yeah, real,
5 minutes or so.
almost soupy.
Yeah, but it's nice. And so that's that.
Okay, that was quick.
Before I know, look how
Now
quick
that's
it
an
is.
easy
3
recipe.
ingredients. So now, I think before we venture any further,
You want to set your priorities?
we're going to go outside into the heat of our hot grill. So instead of waiting till the end, I think we should sip
a
cucumber
nice summer sipper.
cooler
Yeah.
while we're going out.
Okay.
And this is another easy peasy drink. So I have a juicer. So I juice my own cucumbers. And sometimes I leave the skin on the real nice English ones so it has a darker thing. But I peel them usually too. If you don't have one, use the muddler and put it at the very bottom of your glass and just muddle it and it'll bring out the cucumber flavor. 2 ounces of vodka.
Okay. Is this for each or for?
For each.
So it's 4.
Well, per drink. The recipe
So it's
online
4.
is going to be per drink. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So then split it between the 2. You could do
Okay.
it that way. All right, but it's 2 per. I don't need 4. Ooh.
Okay.
And remember, always the measure is very important.
I'm sure that's perfectly even.
And then 1 ounce of cucumber juice per, so 2. And split it.
How about if I have my shaker break?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna split this perfectly again.
Ooh, listen to that.
Yep.
I got Ken
Almost.
this for Christmas. He's a big sparkling water guy. And I got him this, and I'll tell you, it was a very good investment, wasn't it? And then we are just gonna top it with sparkling water, club soda, seltzer, unflavored, whatever you want. And I think lime or lemon work well.
A little garnish.
Or how about both? Okay, there we go. And that's it. It's very refreshing. It's really been a nice, warm, hot summer. And I think these
Throwing a cucumber in
are
there
going
too?
to do it. You want me to? Sure, whatever you want. Give them whatever
How
they
about a
want,
jalapeno?
Jack, oh, jalapeno would be good in there.
Yeah.
We're going to take this party outside, and
Cool.
we are going to get grilling with our walleye.
One thing
Okay.
I did learn after that weekend was, even though this is over 500 and approaching 600, that this should be on high. Because I turned it on high after I flipped that first time, and it wasn't dark, but I flipped that second time, and it
And
was.
it was. Okay.
So it's got to have
So
that
you
high.
got to have your grill.
Even though you're going to have some
Whoa.
heat here, guys. So just hang with me, all right? You still want to have your grill on high because you still want to get a burn on this. So I'll let some heat out, right?
Okay.
But I'm going to throw this fish right onto
And
one of
how
those
accurate is that temperature? It's still going up. Yeah, you're right.
pans. Any last words of advice, people?
Now, Jimmy, we made this the other night. Jimmy LaPata was one of our boat mates. And what did you think of this recipe?
I loved it. something different other than fried, even though, you know, everybody loves it fried.
I know, but the fry is so messy and so much cleanup, you know?
Looks good already.
But this is easy with 3 ingredients. And look at how this sizzle is. It just sizzles.
All right. And down
and then
it goes.
You close the grill.
That's it.
Should we set the timer?
I got splashed. No, I mean, this is just a count off, a regular thing. You take a couple sips, right? You make a few jokes, and it's a couple minutes. There you go.
Well, I think this recipe is really easy and really fabulous. And I think it's a lot more low-cal than all the fry and all the other stuff, don't you think?
You've been saying that for a long time. Stop the fry.
Okay. I love the fry.
But I love the fry.
I love the fry. Here you go. So a little caprese. And I'm going to tell you, this is a beautiful, beautiful summer dish. And we're going back. We're getting more fish, aren't we?
Yes.
Real soon.
Yep, with Captain Longo.
You did not wear your Captain Longo shirt.
It was too hot. Sorry, Captain Longo. Sorry, Jimmy.
This should have its own show.
Recipes are so easy and they are so delicious. And they're going to be on my website. It is the 3-ingredient walleye coating. You saw how easy it came together. And then also for the cucumber cooler. The cucumber cooler is the best. And
cheers.
Cheers. Thank you. And we have got more coming up for summer. I think we're going to try the flat top next. Cheers. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.